Guys, let's have a look at survey mission planning now. To do survey mission planning, we need a closed polygon. Guided mission can be done by randomly placing points, but survey mission requires a polygon closed area. You give me a closed area, I will survey in that area only. Mission planner says that one. So what we need to do, in the top left corner of the map, you will be able to see this polygon point. Click on that one, and there is an option called as draw polygon. Click on this draw polygon, and now you can place points here. Point number 1, point number 2, point number 3, point number 4, point number 5, any way you like, point number 6, like this. So I have created a closed polygon. Okay, this is a closed polygon. Now what I need to do, in this closed polygon, I'll go right click, go to auto waypoint option, and go to some option called as survey grid. There are other survey grid v2, simple grid. Don't go to all these options. Go to survey grid. Once you click on survey grid, a survey grid separate window is open. Now I am going to maximize this one. And in this window, you have seen all these lines, all these paths which were automatically decided by the mission planner. Now we have only option to tweak and to change the settings. Okay, in the bottom you can see the status of this one. Area is 5 square kilometer approximately, and number of pictures we taken will be 424. That depends on the camera also. I'll tell you in a minute. Estimated flight time. This is the estimated flight time. This drone to fly and capture this area imagery, it takes 1 hour 28 minutes 30 seconds. And also distance. The distance of these all lines are 21 kilometers. All these points you can see here. And ground resolution. This is what is resolution we are getting of the ground. I mean, after you capture the images and you process using image processing software, and once output is generated, when you zoom the image, how much zoom you can see the object. In 1 pixel, how much zoom you can do. That is one of the point. Okay, let's see what are all the other options here. In the top right corner of the window, you can see simple grid options and camera configurations. Let's understand what are all this. In the simple options, you have camera. So let's say we have a multi-rotor drone and I have a Sony a6000 camera on it. By the way, there are many options for you. You can select any one among this one and buy a camera and put it on your drone. So I have a multi-rotor and I have a camera Sony a6000. What altitude I want my mission to fly on this area? So I want to capture a imagery under 5 centimeter resolution. What I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the altitude to 170 meters. Okay, these are in meters. Once I increase altitude to 170, ground resolution went to 3.2 centimeters. No, I want under 5 centimeters. So I can go up to 190 meters. 190 meters. When I'm changing this altitude, what you can observe two things. The mission lines are reduced, flight time is also reduced, ground screen resolution also increasing. Clear? All these effects. So I want my aircraft to fly at 190 meters of altitude. Now what is this angle degrees? When I click on this angle degree, you observe the mission. See? Oh. It's changing its angle. So mission automatically changes its angle. Why this is given? Because when you are on field and when you are flying a mission, when you want to capture a data, if the aircraft has to fly in headwind and tailwind, let's say wind is coming from the top. Wind is coming from the top of the screen to bottom of the screen. On field, it is coming from north to south. Here, from top of the screen and to bottom of the screen. And if my mission is like this, let's see here, I'll change it a bit. If my mission is like this, what happens? The aircraft will travel into headwind one way and opposite way it will travel into tailwind faster. So what happens? While it is traveling into the headwind, it becomes slower. Battery consumption will increase. Okay. While it is traveling away from the wind, aircraft speed will increase. Imagery will get disturbed. So two reasons. That's the reason what we do. We plan always mission in crosswind. So I am going to change this wind area totally. What I'm going to do is going to angle degrees, and you can change it with mouse also. 90. Now see. Oh. Now mission is in crosswind, proper crosswind. Clear? Huh. You can see another option, camera top facing forward. That depends on your drone's camera. I suggest you to experiment on your own. Flying speed. You can see here flying speed. What speed my aircraft should fly? It is 5 meter per second. I want you to increase it to 16 meter per second. Now you see here flight time got reduced to 20 minutes only. It was showing 1 hour 30 minutes.
30 minutes to
20 minutes because speed was 5 meters per second. Now we increased the speed to 16 meter per second. My aircraft has a capability of going with 16 meter per second.
Okay, so now does it means like if we put a large amount but we put like slow motor like that, what will happen? Means like
Good question again. So whenever you are going for mission planning, make sure till what speed your aircraft is capable of flying.
Okay.
So I design aircraft which can fly up to 30 meter per second.
Oh.
But what happens, I don't want to fly my aircraft to 30 meter per second because it will consume full throttle, full acceleration, full battery power. So I want to fly it at half.
Okay.
45% of that one. So I go with 16 meter per second, 12 meter per second. That's the point.
But would it not disturb the pictures it takes?
It shouldn't disturb the pictures. For that we also have an advanced settings. That's why I call it as an advanced mission planning. I'll show you in the video later. Okay, so flying speed is increased to 16 meter per second. Use speed for this mission. So 16 meter per, by default mission planner has a speed is 12 meter per second for fixed wing aircraft mission.
Okay.
And when I click this option checkbox, use speed for this mission, that enables that tells mission planner go with 16 meter per second.
Okay.
Don't go with 12. Don't go with your default, go with 16. Clear. Now another option is here. Add takeoff and landing waypoints. In guided mission planning, we added a takeoff point. We placed a point and we made it takeoff point. And we play after mission completes, we placed a point and we made it RTL. Here you can do it automatically. That's why I call it advanced mission planning. Add takeoff and landing point. If I check that one, takeoff and landing point will be automatically added. Use RTL. Use RTL should be checked whenever you are flying your mission. Suddenly rain comes, you have option to click RTL. So it will come back to home. Immediately you can take control and you can land the aircraft.
Okay.
These are the simple options. When you change the simple options, all these parameters also change. SATs of the mission also changes. Grid options. In grid options, we have overshoot, distance between lines. This is automatically being generated whenever you select your flying altitude and camera. And
so we can decrease it.
We cannot decrease it. If you decrease it, there will be some errors in the processing department. So what you need to do is do not disturb this distance between lines. Keep it stationary.
Okay.
You can work on overshoot values. Overshoot in meters, overshoot in meters. Okay, what is overshoot? Let's understand. Now I'm zooming this map. My polygon is still here only, but my waypoint is coming out. Why it is coming out? When I'm flying my mission with a fixed wing aircraft, fixed wing cannot stop at one point and turn. Okay. But multi-rotor can go to the point and it can stop and it can turn. Fixed wing needs constant forward movement. It goes forward and it takes a turn, U-turn. Clear?
Yeah.
So to do that, we need this overshoot values.
Okay.
So overshoot in meters, it is 180 meters. If I make it 0, you see, concentrate on this point, waypoint number 2 and waypoint number 1, or waypoint number 11 and 12. Okay. Overshoot value, I'm making it 0. Enter. Other overshoot also I am making it 0. Enter. Lead in value also I am making 0. Enter. Now you see the mission exactly in the polygon.
Yeah.
But my fixed wing, if my fixed wing is flying like this, it's coming as my mouse pointer is coming, and it has to take a turn. It has to go. It will take a turn. It will miss all these images. It has to capture here. So that's the reason we increase overshoot value. Good overshoot value for a fixed wing is 150 meters or 120 meters based upon your tuning of the aircraft. Clear?
Oh.
I'm increasing it to 150 again. Next, there is another option called as lead in. This is also in meters. This is nothing but like an overshoot only, but it makes sure that the aircraft is ready and it is straight aligned to the flight path so that it won't capture images in inclined direction. So lead in value, if you keep it closer to overshoot value, that should be a good one. So 130 would be a good value. Clear? Now your mission looks like this one. Now we have another option. Where is our home location? Our home location is somewhere here. Near this waypoint number 5 or waypoint number 6, between somewhere here. I want my aircraft to start mission from this point. Now mission is being started from waypoint number 1 here.
Okay.
And it completes all this thing. Waypoint number 60 is the last. Okay. I want my mission to start from other corner. I want to start it from here at the 60 waypoint. So here start from option is there. Click on start from bottom right. Okay. Now you see waypoint number 1 will come to somewhere here. Bottom right, right? I think we need to change some angle degrees because I see mission lines are in different we'll do something else. Grid options, bottom left we will try. Bottom left. Now this is waypoint number 1. Okay. If your mission is properly square or rectangle, it will apply properly. But this is a different mission, right?
Okay, so if we want to add a home pointer here, how do we do this with we take waypoint 1 and we want it to extend from here. We are taking off from here, then how do we do that?
So earlier in simple tab, what you have observed, add takeoff and landing points. We click this option, right? Add takeoff and landing points. That is one important key feature. Let's say our home point is here. Okay, let's say this Venkateshwara Tiffins. This is our home point. So what home point aircraft will launch, take off. It will automatically take an imaginary point in air. That is, this is my takeoff point, and this is my first waypoint, and it will automatically reach to this first waypoint here.
Oh, so we don't need to add
anything. Clear? So again, going to grid options back, bottom left, overlap. You want your imagery, how much overlap? So I suggest you better experiment on yourself or sit with your image processing people and work on with that one. These are all the options in the grid options. Now let's go to camera configurations. What kind of camera you have? Okay, we have selected Sony a6000, but this mission planner doesn't know what kind of lens I have installed on it.
Okay.
So here it says focal length of 20 mm. So I have installed, let's say, focal length of 35 mm. Now observe the total mission also here. 35 mm. See, now the lines increased. Imagery will be dense. Your map generation of that area, survey area will be dense, too much good. If I reduce it to, like, say 10, your capturing time will reduce, your less lines, your flight time is also 10 minutes. So ideal thing to go with is 20 mm or 16 mm. So I generally go with 16 mm. That's how my mission planning is being done. Once these all things are accepted and done, what you can do is, don't change this image with the height pixel, all this stuff. Leave them as per the camera. Go to simple again. Once you have set up all these points, what you need to do is, there are again display options here. In the simple, this is the final thing here. Boundary. If I uncheck the boundary, the red polygon, you see this red polygon is going to disappear. I'm zooming till here. If I uncheck the boundary, red polygon is being disappeared. Markers, all markers will disappear.
Okay.
Grid itself will disappear. Don't do that. Make your grid visible. And if you click on internals, it will tell where the aircraft will take photo. All these waypoints are like photos, imaginary points where the photos is taken. That depends on the aircraft speed, altitude, all these points.
Can we manually take photos?
Yes, we can. You need to have a good communication with the aircraft from the ground control station. Then I'll tell you how to do that at the end of this video. Uncheck internals, footprints. When I click on footprints, okay, this is not connected to any flight controller, right? So it's not showing up.
Okay.
All these options are being available because of the advanced options. Okay. So let's again go back, finish it off. Once all these settings are done, we need to do some option which is called as accept. These are all just settings, how to do your survey mission. Now click on accept. Once accept is done, you will get the same window command here. Okay, See here, automatically takeoff point is added. Do change speed means it will change up the speed of the aircraft or take photo. This is waypoint. You come to here, last you will see return to launch. So takeoff point and RTL points is already added. Clear? There is nothing need to be done. Again, you can give your takeoff. Because it is a fixed wing takeoff, you need to mention what angle it will take off. I will take off at generally 15 degrees, 10 degrees.
Okay.
It depends on your aircraft. And I can also set up my takeoff altitude. It is 30 by default.
Yeah.
But our mission altitude is 190. You can see 190, 190, 190 here.
So it increases.
It increases and it goes to 190. It does automatically fly that area. This is how we do we plan our mission, survey mission for a fixed wing aircraft or multi-rotor, whatever it is. Now once this is done, what you need to do is you need to write and you need to read. Before writing and reading, once your aircraft is turned on the ground, you just need to click on home location. You see this home location point here?
Yeah.
Click on that one, so it will update. Because after you connect your aircraft and doing all this mission planning, the GPS of your aircraft will communicate with satellites and it will get more accuracy, more connections.
Okay.
So if you place it in one field, it will show in that field only, in that particular field. It will be closer, accuracy will be closer. Click on home location, write and read. Make sure you do write and read when your drone is connected via telemetry or USB cable. That should be done. That should be your mission plan for a survey graded UAV or drone.
Okay.
Hope you guys understood. This writing and reading in real time, I will be showing it to you on my fixed wing aircraft Talon. So I hope you are excited to see Talon flying this mission. We will do this writing and reading mission in Talon aircraft on field, and we will also post a video regarding that one. Hope all this topic for today was clear for you.
Mama, yesterday I was exploring the mission planner and I found that there is a bug in the simulation tab for some reason.
Oh, is it so?
Yeah.
Not a problem. I can resolve it. And if you guys are also facing the same problem, I will be able to resolve it and make a video on that as well.
Okay, great.
So guys, for tomorrow's topic, we will discuss on simulation. Instead of planning, making your drone, going to field and flying it in real time, you can simulate here in itself in the mission planner using your laptop. And also you can put real wind conditions there and test it there. Just not to break your plane on going on field, you can do it here itself using mission planner simulation. So that would be the next video. Please stick on to the next video and do like,
Share,
subscribe our channel. Don't forget to subscribe our channel.